Hello everyone. My name is Ohana Biswas and this is my assessment project on the Calgary HTTP dataset. So in this video, I will walk you through how I downloaded, cleaned, and analyzed the web server logs of University of Calgary using Python. We will cover the logic behind each function I have written to answer specific analytical questions based on the dataset. So this is part one, downloading and loading the data. So since the dataset is compressed in a .gz format, I use Python's gzip module to open and read the file line by line. So I downloaded the dataset using the request library and saved it locally. And thereafter, I store each line in a list called log lines. Each line corresponds to a single HTTP request entry. So next we'll dive into the data cleansing part. So I parse each log entry using a regular expression. The data set follows the Apache Common Log Format. So I define a pattern that extracts the host, timestamp, request, status code, and byte size. So I've written a regular expression over here uh, to parse the necessary details. Now I use this pattern inside a loop to extract the fields. For each of the valid lines, I convert the timestamp to a datetime object, extract the file name and file extension from the request, and convert the byte fields into an integer if it's valid. Now I store the result in a list of dictionaries called data. So for further analysis of the dataset, we'll use this data. So let's dive into analyzing the dataset. So we'll count the total log records first. So for counting the log records, I have used the len function. The len function, as we all know, counts the length of thing. So here the len function returns the length of the data list. So the number of items in the data. So we'll run this. Yeah. So the count of the total log records is 722341. Now we'll see the number of unique hosts in the dataset. So we have taken the set for the host names of the entries in the dataset. So what set does is set takes unique host names. And thereafter we again use the len function to get the length of this set and we'll print it. So the number of unique hosts is 2. Next, we'll filter the file name, filter the unique. Next, we will count the unique file name by date. So here we'll use result, a default dictionary set to ensure the uniqueness. Now for each entry in data, we'll fetch the date of the file first and next in the result, we'll add the data string as in the date and as the key of the dictionary entity and then add the file name as the value in that date string. So for each date, we'll get multiple of such file names as the count of the file names. So we'll run this. So as we can see, for each of the dates, the code has returned the count of unique file names. So now we will get the number of 404 response codes. So we'll check for each entry in the data if the status code is 404. If the status code is 404, the sum will increment one value for each of true value. So we'll run this again. So the number of 404 response codes is 23445. Now we will get the top 15 file names with 404 responses. So first we take a counter named FN counter. This will be used for taking the counter of each file names. Now, for each entry, we'll iterate through the data set. For each entry in the data, if the status code is 404, we'll get the file name. And for each file name, we'll counter the value to 1 as in the loop. And thereafter, we will return the top 15 or the most common file names in the FN counter. So the top 15 file names with the 404 responses are these. Now, in the similar manner, we will try to get the top 15 file extensions with 404 responses. So again, we have used a counter. Here we have used the name extension counter for the counter. Again, for each entry in the data set, we'll for each entry in data, if the status of the entry is 404, we'll get the extension of the entry, and for each extension, we'll just add one as the iterate and then add that to the extension counter. And thereafter, we'll return the top 15 or the most common from the extension counter. We'll again run this and yeah, so this is done. Now we'll count the total bandwidth transport per day for the month of July in the year 1995. So we'll again iterate through data. For each entry in data, we'll fetch the date time of the entry. So here DT denotes the entry of the date time of the entry. Now, as we know, July is the 7th month of the year, right? So if month of the DT is 7 and year of DT is 1995 and the bytes entry is true, then we will add this date string and then for each date string we'll add the number of bytes in the result. And thereafter we'll return the dictionary of result. Here, the date string will be the key of the item in the result, and the bytes will be the value for each of the keys, for each of the dates. So we'll run this. Yeah. Now we'll count the hourly request distribution. Now here we'll again use a counter for each of the entries. We'll first again fetch the date time and filter it by hour for the entry in data, and then count the number of requests per hour as we use in the using the counter. So yeah, so the hourly request distribution can be see. Now we'll try to analyze the most requested file names, the top 10 requested file names. So again, we will use a counter for each of the file. We'll iterate through data, and for each of the file name, we'll just store the number of requests for each file name in counter using the counter function, and then using the most common function will return counter dot most common 10. This will return the top 10 most requested file names. So we'll again run this. So the top 10 most requested file names anyway. So now we'll analyze the HTTP response code distribution. So again, we'll iterate through data. Here we'll take the field of the status for the counter value. For each of these entries in data, we'll store the entries as we will use the count of the status for each entry in the counter. Then we'll return the dictionary counter. So let's run this. Yeah. So the HTTP code distribution can be seen. So that wraps up my analysis of the Calgary HTTP dataset. Through parsing and cleaning raw web server logs, I was able to extract meaningful insights using Python standard libraries. The main challenges involve timestamp parsing and filtering malform log entries. Thank you everyone for watching.